Hello, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Faith. I'm an HR manager, people and talent leader. I am the HR manager team lead at AfriChange. One fun fact about me is that I'm actually an introvert. Yeah, 48% introvert. That's an interesting question to ask. I think the first thing is that we are now openly conversing, having this conversation, even shooting a content like this about mental health. I think that our previous generation didn't have that opportunity to openly talk about a pivotal topic like mental health. So first is the fact that we can now openly talk about it at work. Second, of course, is the solutions and the platforms that we are seeing. We are seeing a lot of health tech come up, just focused on mental health and therapy. We are also seeing health insurance providers talk about these very unique things and also even provide services. We didn't have that 6, 7 years ago. So the fact that one, we now have a larger platform, a forum to talk about mental health and wellness for employees. Two, we have a lot of solutions, a lot of tech-driven solutions that talents can access. And then lastly, the fact that health insurance providers are also including mental health and wellness services as part of their benefits. It's exciting that you mentioned policy. I remember that one of the first places I worked, one day I woke up and told the co-founders that, hey, hi guys, I'm implementing a policy called compassionate leave. And they're like, Mr. Man, you've come again. What is compassionate leave? And I said, hey, people should be able to take a couple days without explaining why they have to, right? And then, I went ahead to implement it. And what that did was, so employees have 5 days every quarter to take a leave to do whatever they want. So people on period, someone is mourning a loss. The most hilarious way that someone had used the compassionate leave was someone suffering an heartbreak. She was served breakfast and it was affecting her productivity. And so the hiring manager reached out to me to say, hey, this person is dropping balls. And then I had a chat with her and she just went through an heartbreak. And I said, hey, take the last 3 days of the week off. The fact that, again, back to my first point, the fact that that's even a conversation that we can now have, that's a plus. Another exciting thing is just I'm seeing a lot of HRs do the work, like walk the talk. Right now, it's World Mental Health Day. I don't know when this was posted. At our current place of work, we are giving people what we call take the break. So we are giving people 90 minutes during work hours to do whatever they want and to come and share what they did, as against inviting people to come and teach. Because think about it, we have enough teaching, right? And if your company is teaching, that's also good because awareness is very, very important. We are just again taking a step further this year to let people actually take a mental break and see what you can do for your mental health using the time that the company has dashed you. So I'm super delighted that this is changing because I talk to people that work in the industry, but the legal industry used to be really toxic. And then, senior partners and associates. I mean, I started my career with tax firm and they brag in just overworking and like it's insane. People cannot, I mean, how will you leave your office when your partner is still in the office at 11 p.m.? Guess what? The difference is that your partner that is at the office by 11 p.m. is driving a Pajero, right? And so he can leave the office, he lives in Lekki Phase 2, can leave the office by 12 and get to his bed by 1. But you stay at Yadakwaja and then you work at VI. And so if you leave the office by 11, you probably get up at 1 and you have to wake up 4 a.m. again. So your realities are different. So that's the first thing. The fact that we didn't have people in senior leadership positions just acknowledge the disparity between their work reality. That's one. Now, talking about people that even have good intentions, I think that, and like I tell my team, I think that employee benefits has to be equilibrium. You have to offer what people want. You cannot just come and say, oh, so today's solution is happy hour. How are you going to do happy hour for people that are not happy? So people have not gotten a salary raise in 9 months or 12 months, but you're doing happy hour. I'm sorry, unhappy people are going to come to your happy hour. So how can we solve the problems that are even leading to these mental health challenges? I think that that's one challenge that I want to give to HR managers, to funders, to stakeholders that would watch this video. Let's think about the beginning from the end, as against, let's be proactive as against reactive. Let's not try to kill, let's try to prevent. Yeah. So one, by the way, the compassionate leave still, I stole it somewhere. I can't remember the company anymore. But it's definitely not a Nigerian company, obviously. And one of the random things I do for leisure is I binge career pages of international organizations. So there are some career pages of some companies that can tell you what exactly they look like, e.g. Netflix. So I'm very sure that's where I stole compassionately from. But I think that one, Nigerian and African companies should just really be open to changing things. There's a way that Nigerian companies, African companies glorify stress. There's nothing glorifiable about stress. So the one I feel like when you are open to even creating environments that enables mental wellness, a lot of things will change. Shout out to companies, man. I don't have any specific companies right now, but shout out to all the companies that are creating anxiety policies that makes people do good work. However, I think I want to shout out to Ungovo Health. I don't know where they are now. I hope that they have not died. I hope that they rise from the dead. But when Ungovo Health was very active, I that was a service I love because I used to refer a lot of people to them. I think that I've also occasionally paid for therapy for one or two people. Shout out to Blue Room Care also. They are providing like mental wellness platform and making just mental wellness easily accessible to people. So yeah, shout out to those two platforms and to every organization creating an environment for people to do good work in an healthy way. Three very important things. One is that they should also follow rules and regulations. I remember there was a startup that I worked with, and I told the co founder one day that if you come to work tomorrow, I'm going to call your wife to come and risk you. Why? Because you would come to work with red eyes. So I think it's very important that founders just open that line of communication and they follow their rules. Another illustration to back up another major point I want to make, just the time I reached out to my two co-founders, again, it's always co-founders, asking them when they are going on leave. And the first person said, oh, I booked my flight for this, and this. And then I told, and the second founder said, am I supposed to go on leave? And I responded, of course, sir, you're supposed to go on leave because if you do not go on leave, how will the people reported to you know that you're supposed to go on leave? So it's very important that we also follow policies and procedures. And then lastly is really to listen to HR professionals. There's a reason why you hired them. You hired them because they are probably better people managers than you, or they are more competent, or at least they connect with the employees more than you because you are focusing on bringing in revenue, which is important, and bringing in new deals and hitting those revenue targets. So let HR do their work. And when they suggest things to you, do not shut it down. Question it, argue about it, dialogue about it, but do not shut it down because they are closer to the people than you are. I overwork. I work a lot. So my body tells me when it's time to rest. Sometimes rest can look like a 10-hour sleep at a stretch. I'm emphasizing that because I average 4 hours or five every day. Today, I'm living on a 2.5 hours sleep. Don't ask me what I was doing. But rest is like, shutting out the whole world for 12 hours. Sometimes rest is binging a K drama from the beginning to the end. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I didn't join the Twitter arguments because I'm like, why are you people again? Right. But I think the important thing is that I know when my body is telling me that guy, it's time to go off, and then I go off. Sometimes rest is actually taking a screen break. So I put like a post up or WhatsApp because I'm always posting on WhatsApp to say, hey guys, 24 hours break. And so I just go off. I'm probably reading a relaxing novel, Chidamanda, Damilare Coco, whoever it is that is making me laugh at that point, and eating a full pot of rice and beans, guys. That's my favorite food, my comfort food, with a full bowl of plantain. So I think that the takeaway is really that I know where my body needs to rest and I listen to my body. My dear fellow HR professionals, try the rest to work, not the finish. I think that is very important. One, for HR to like to take a break, to try to take a break and rest. I'm giving myself this advice too. Yeah, and I also think that you should also learn to delegate to line managers. I worked on something today for about 2 hours with the compliance team, and when they were giving, I'm like, no, 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 take this one out of HR responsibility. Go and give it to line manager. It's not me and my team that you people will come and kill. But yeah, I think that one, you should realize that you're also an employee and you should deliberately take time to rest because work never finishes. I think the second part is really to always remember that you're also an employee. For employees generally, I think that especially if you are watching this from Nigeria right now, I think it's really hard to be. I don't care how much you are earning, even if you're earning in dollars. I think that it's really hard to be a Nigerian right now. You can have all the financial resources and not have the infrastructural resources. You can buy solar and have NEPA and PHCN and fall will move from 600 to 980, and it will rain all day, so you do not have solar. So I think that it's important that you psychologically prepare yourself just for the mental vigor that it takes to work and live in Nigeria, and not factor it. It's very important you put your mental space in you stay resilient enough to know that you're in a very uncomfortable work environment, and you just have that approach to work to stay above the challenges every day. And then the second one is really, don't spread yourself too thin. So yeah, the economy is hard, and you're doing two jobs together, one main gig, one side also. But don't take four jobs. Like, you're not gonna give your best, and right? Just don't spread yourself too thin. Don't, in my language, they say, "Nkan tí ọwọ́ mi ò bá tó máa fi gọ́gọ́ fà." Don't stress yourself. Don't try to stretch your hand to reach something that you cannot reach. Right? Just stay low key, do the jobs that you can, get the gigs that you done, but don't overwork yourself to the extent that you're about to break down.
Merchandise, like anyone would call it, is a great opportunity for people that relate with what you do, your mission, your objective, your vision as an organization or a community, to get to advocate for your community or your company, as the case may be.